Hi everyone. Well, as requested, I'm back to make a few more tags. And before I do, I want to show you something that I find really interesting. And that is how you can use papers that maybe you feel like are not so great. Sometimes people call them ugly papers. Sometimes they're not necessarily ugly, but they're just papers that you don't really know what to do with because they don't make sense as they are. So, for instance, these are just papers that I've mopped up paint with. So you guys saw me just recently take some leftover watered down paint and use it up by just smushing it onto a piece of book paper. So you look at that and you think, yeah, well, what am I going to do with that? And the same thing with something like this. I mean, they're gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous, but sometimes we're not really sure what we would do with them. This is me cleaning a brush off, on a piece of cardstock. So I just wanted to take some of these and show you. This is a paper that I had, it's tissue paper, and I had laid it down to catch the paint going off the edge of something else I was painting. So it's like a drop paper. And I added and kept adding and kept adding, and I knew that I would use this in something, and I'm just going to show you today how I use some of these things. But what I think is really cool, interesting, is how they look. Let me see if I can find a paper with white on the back. Here we go. I want to show you how cool they look when you look at them as a small piece, because I've said for years, when you tear these things up, that's when the magic happens, right? So I took some cardstock and I made a few templates. So I have a large tag, and I have a medium-sized tag, and I have a smaller tag. So it gives you an idea by laying that down on one of these crazy papers. You can see how it suddenly changes. It doesn't look so maddening because there's not so much of it. These are die cut. I just happened to have some dies that were different size tags. And it's really fun to lay them and see which section you'd want to use. Like, look at this little one. You can take this little one and go over here. And I think that's gorgeous, where when I look at this whole sheet, I don't necessarily think it's gorgeous. But when you look at little small sections of it, and don't be afraid to just rip this stuff up, because the more you rip it and tear it, the sooner you're going to see the magic happen. So I just love that. So I would not be fearful at all to take this and just rip it. And then I can begin to use it. If I leave it as a whole sheet, wondering what am I going to do with it, or saving it to do something fabulous with, or whatever, I'm never going to do that. Tear them up and use them for fun, because that's what you make them for. And there's always more paper and more paint and stuff you can make more, So see, now I can take these little pieces and feel more like they're usable now, So just wanted to go through a couple of painted papers. Not that they're anything fabulous. Like I said, these are some that I just don't know what I would do with them for sure, because they've been sitting around forever and I've not used them. So let's just take a look. Like I could see putting that on the background of a tag. They look so different when you see them in tag form. Like you might want to put the thicker part at the bottom of a tag and have some of this up here at the top. I just love it. And so the same thing goes with, a piece that looks like this. That's a good starting point. Just glue it down to a tag, and then you can build on top of that. I'm not saying that this is necessarily the end of the tag when you do this, but it sure is a good starting point when you have a background down. So this one can be like all one color. This one could be like a multicolor tag. It's gorgeous. And it's just so fun. All right, let's look at this. This is a 12 by 12. I was using the back side of scrapbook paper. So it's a 12 by 12 sheet. And Look how cool that looks. When you see this as a whole, it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's kind of cool. I will give you that. I do like this one for the fact that it looks cool. But when I stop and think, but how am I going to use it? This is what is helpful. Just breaking it down into smaller pieces, you know, and building off of that. Like, I think that looks really neat. Just that. But I wanted to show you how it looks in its complete, more ugly state. Because there was so much black on this particular piece of paper. And so I just ripped it down, and then I removed the black out of my view. And now I can see, even including some of the black here, I can see now how gorgeous that could be. That is so cool. And it was just nothing but a messy, rolling off the brayer kind of page. So see, you can just take different areas and try different things. I love it. It just makes me excited about using some of these papers that I haven't used in a long time. Another piece where I was cleaning off my brayer. So just fun, just interesting. I mean, there's a ton of these here. Look at this one. This one is so busy. I actually think this is, this is a sheet of business cards. Can you see those perforated lines there? So this one I can already make small things out of. I just haven't yet. By folding on these perforated lines and then tearing it apart. So let's see what some of these look like in their small business card size. It's fun to dig into what you've already made and pull them out to use them, you know. Okay, so let's see how these end up looking. That's not bad. You cut the corners on that and make a little tag or round the corners. Look how cool they look on their own. Like, I never would have seen that in the big sheet. I might not have seen that, you know? So it's, it's just amazing to me. It's just amazing. All right. Set that one out of the way. Let's see if there was any more that I wanted to show you. This one was the same way, real crazy, busy, and just looking at the whole thing, I just feel like I don't know that I would ever use that or how I would use it. So laying the template on there, doing it this way, seems like I get a lot of purple from the paint that was down here on the bottom. Up here, I didn't have quite as much purple, so I get a little bit more of the yellow colors, yellows and oranges. I love that. That's cool. So drag out your papers, guys, and look at them and see what you have, you know. So there's more just jelly prints, painted paper messes, but you can see that depending on where you cut it or tear it, you've got something different depending on where you lay your template or where you tear it out. So amazing. And you don't see that stuff until you make your brain see a small bit of it, you know. This one's really awesome too. Wow, look at that. It's pretty. Isn't that cool? This one's a napkin. It looks more vibrant when I have something white underneath there, because it's seeing the gray through here. So you can see how much more vibrant that looks now, that pink area. Yeah, oh, love that. That is so pretty. I might make a tag with that right there. But yeah, this is the back of a napkin, I think. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It is tissue paper. and it tore in several places as I was jelly printing with it. But this side over here where the pink is not torn, so that will be a fun tag. I love that. Anyway, you may see some of these coming out as I'm making my tags today. Let's play. I'm going to start with this little guy. This is one of those business cards that I just broke apart, and I went ahead and angled the top right here, and I've got a blue marker. I'm just going to kind of frame it with this marker. Okay, that already looks better. And I found a little ribbon. I went in my ribbon box that's got all the scraps, and I found this tied up exactly like it is. Had thought I was going to use it for another project, and then I didn't, or it didn't work, so I threw it in the box. So look how cute that is. Already tied up. And I think I want to just stick it at the top. It's a little bit bulky because of the knot, because this is that grosgrain ribbon. So it's a little bit thick, but it's not terrible. It's no thicker than like a button would be. But I think it looks really cute on that tag. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Put a little clip on it to hold it in place while it dries. There we go. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. Now, another thing that I'm going to do, and you guys, I'm sure some of you have already done this before. It's nothing new. But just in case there are some people watching who haven't done some of these techniques, I just wanted to share the things that I enjoy. I'm going to take this little string off because I'm going to decoupage. And I'm going to use a napkin and just glue it onto the surface. And I love to use a tag or something that has text on it. And this one already has text on it. I bought it that way. But if you are using just a plain tag, you know, like this, you can glue down a piece of paper from a book or a newspaper or magazine, something like that, and you'll get some text. It shows through and looks so nice when you glue a napkin down because the napkin is so thin. So when this gets glued down, you'll be able to see all that text through there, and I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a little Mod Podge and glue this napkin down. Just repairing this at the bottom here where I had torn the napkin a little bit. I'm just going to put another little piece of the napkin there. So I'm going to leave that here to dry, and then we'll come back and trim it out. I think while I have this Mod Podge out, I'm going to go ahead and do one more. This one is a page from a coloring book. So I just cut it into a little rectangle, and I'm going to put this napkin on it with this sweet little bird. And so there'll be this subtle design of the flowers in the background and the bird on top. I think it'll be so pretty. All right, that one's going to dry too. This one is dry now. Yep. I think that is so cute. Now, I don't know yet what I'm going to put on this. I may find something while I'm playing here today. I may come across something, but in the meantime, I'm just going to let it sit here. I know that some of you have mentioned that you like it when I alter clothing tags, and I like it too. And these make the cutest little embellishments for your journals. So I think I'm going to take this little piece of painted paper. It's a fun piece. I think it'll work there. So I'm going to use the glue stick now and just stick this down. I just want to go ahead and get a bunch of the backgrounds done, and then I'll see if there are some little embellishments I can put on top to decorate the tags with. I'm trying to make sure that I get the paint on the tag and not the white edge at the bottom there. Okay. I think that's pretty good. And see, because this was a paper with text already on it, and even though I put paint over the top of it, you can see those words through there, and that is just so fun. It just gives it a lot of interest and texture. All right, so that is going to be a fun one, I can tell already. Isn't that cute? Now, right here at the top, it was torn, and it didn't quite cover that, but when I go around it with a marker like I did on that other one, that can easily be covered there. So we'll just go ahead and, let's see, I don't know, do I want to cut the top? Maybe I do. And for those of you who don't know, this is an old gift card, and I cut several different sizes of angles on this card. And so I use this to cut the angles on my tags so that I can keep them the same on both sides. So I just put the card against my tag and I cut off the angle there. And then I flip over the gift card and do the same thing on the other side. And so that keeps your angles the same and the same size, and it works out really great, and it's durable, so it lasts a while. So that's how the tag ends up looking. Very cool. I love using that thing. All right, so here's that little spot. So when I take the marker over the top, it's gone. Thunderstorm in the background, in case you guys are hearing that. Warm weather in Florida, that's what you get. Okay. Okay, I like that a lot. It's really pretty. And see, that was just a piece of paper, that another one of those that it just had a bunch of paint on it. It didn't mean anything special. It didn't look like it was meant for a gallery. You know, it just paint on paper. And look how cute that turns out looking. I just love it. And it's so simple. All right, let that dry and we'll come back to it in a few minutes. What's next? I think you guys probably remember my coffee journal. I really love this journal, and it was so much fun to make. But I did a tag in here that was really fun, and I want to share that again. My goodness, a lot of thunder. I want to share it again because it was a fun one, and all I did was cut a tag shape from a piece of paper that was folded. There's a folded edge here, and so by doing that, it makes a tag that opens like this, okay? A bifold tag. So I really love that, and I wanted to try a different style, and that's a trifold. So I'm going to take a piece of paper. This is also a book page. It doesn't have any print on it. And I'm just going to fold it in thirds. All right, so we have a little trifold. And this is good. It didn't come quite into where the fold is, so that's good. Gives it room to open and close well. All right, so I'm going to trim the bottom. Okay, so I got that trimmed, and now I'm going to just, angle the top. I think I'll turn it this way because I feel like it opens, yeah, correctly like a book or something. Okay. So that is cool. I think that's going to be really fun. And then I've got just some torn up book papers that I'm going to glue here and there to the inside and give it a little bit more substance because it's not real thick like a tag. It's just paper. So this will help to thicken it up a little bit. I have some little images from a printable that I got a while back, and I've just been kind of slowly using them. But I'm going to put this one, I think, here. And then I'm going to put these on the bottom. I don't know, I might stagger them a little bit. See how this looks this way. Yeah, that's kind of cute. So isn't that cute? And so there's plenty of room to put some quotes or attach a piece of card, like, cut it down to size, but attach a piece of card in there and you can write on, journal on there. And then also there's room to decorate on these two sides. So I think that is just so much fun. It's very interactive. It's kind of like a little folio, only it's a small tag size. All right, let's trim down a couple of these and see how they look. Oh, that is so pretty. I just love that. It's gorgeous. So it turned this white tag with the black print on it into like a yellow tag or a soft color. It's soft color, kind of like this paper is, but it's a little more yellow. That is just gorgeous. Love it. I mean, I don't have to do anything to that. I could put a little word on there if I wanted to, but I think that is just gorgeous to put in a journal just like that. Absolutely beautiful. The colors on that napkin were so yummy. I did one other tag before using this napkin, I believe. I loved it then too. Okay, so let's set that one aside for now. Really pretty. It's a little bit wrinkled, and I like that. It has a really good feeling. You can even see the texture there. Love it. Feels really nice. All right, so let's cut the tops of this one. We'll do this as some bigger tags, so we'll do a bigger corner. I'll probably back this with something else because it's still pretty flimsy, but really, really pretty. Another pretty napkin is the winner there. Really nice. I think I'll glue down one of these papers. This is that tissue paper that I had painted on. Let's see. I think this will be all right. This is an index card, and I'm just going to use the unlined side. That'll be really pretty on there. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm going to round the corners this time. I think I might put a little bit of washi tape on this one. I've got this one that's kind of vintage looking, and that's what this is to me. It has a vintage sort of vibe. So I think I'm going to just put some little bits and pieces here and there. This happens to be one that's pretty sticky, so I'm not going to glue it. I like it even more. Okay. Got some of my little leafy branches, things that I've created, and I have some of these in my Ko-fi shop if you need something like this. I think that one's really pretty on there. I like having some waiting for me to be able to just grab them and use them. That's what I will do when I'm watching TV at night. A lot of times I will just sit and cut these little things up, you know. I was thinking I might put another one on, but I think I might just put that one there by itself for now. There we go. That one looks so fun. I love it. I mean, they all look fun, and I'm enjoying all of them, but that one in particular looked really cool. There may be something in here that I would want to add. These are my little tissue paper bits that I've colored on, made marks, stamped. you know, that kind of thing. So get the tag out here so I can see it. Just so much fun. Use Sharpies, Posca pens also work. It's just a fun thing to do. I need to make some more of those little marks because I use them a lot, and I'm about to run out of them. Here's a couple more. These are smaller. Okay, let me see. Maybe I'll put some of this on. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to finish up a couple of these tags. This one, of course, I love. And I've got a little flower that I watercolored a couple years ago. And I love it on here. I think it's gorgeous, but it's a little too blendy. So I've got some white paint over here on this deli paper. And this is acrylic paint. And I'm just kind of spreading it out a little. And I'm going to use some bubble wrap to make some fun marks. Need another piece of this deli paper underneath here, though, to catch the messes I'll probably make. That should be enough to help it stand out. And the flower goes on now. I think that'll be good. It'll be better for sure. All right, so I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then I will attach the flower. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, I have this little tag, and I'm going to just add a couple of things to it. Just love that. It's so simple, and I still get to see so much of the tag background, and then having a little cluster in the corner there. I just love it with the ribbon. It makes me so happy. Okay, now on this one, I did go ahead and add a piece of cardstock to the back. Now, I've got a couple of words I want to put on here. These are words from one of my favorite Bible scriptures. Love that. And I've got a little piece of ribbon scrap from my box. And I'm going to just staple that in place right here at the top of the tag. Actually, I think I might cover the back before I put that on. so sweet, and it was so simple, and it's such a good use of things that are just lying around. Love that. So that's all I got for today. I think that was a fun little journey into creating more tags and using more things, and I'm really excited about these, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too and got some ideas. And if you make some tags because you were inspired by this video, feel free to put them on Instagram and tag me. I would love to see them. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will have a link for my Ko-fi page at the end of this video, so that if you want to check out the printables or my membership tiers, I'd be more than happy to have you come over there and take a look. All right, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.